Right, we have crossed into Colorado in the United States, and we're at Burlington, which is about the first decent sized place into Colorado. Most people think of Boulder City and Denver, Colorado, but we're at the Kit Carson County Fairgrounds or Showgrounds, and you can see some of the buildings here, and they've been here in one form or another for over 100 years. The forefathers were very forward thinking, and they made sure that they bought their own fairgrounds, and that's the main grandstand there and the ring inside, and we all have heard it, Kit Carson. It's also called Carousel Park. Carousel Park, okay, Carousel Park. What do we know about Carousel Park? Well, we all know that carousels can be called merry-go-rounds, but we have something extremely special for our viewers today, and that is PTC number 6, Philadelphia Toboggan Company Carousel number 6. This is one of 2,000 carousels that were made, and in America, and one of only a handful, 150 that are left. 1905, it's a 3-row machine, in other words stationary. The animals don't go up and down about it. But the thing that is very particular about this carousel is it's the only one in the world that is a menagerie. In other words, most carousels have got horses on them, and most of them go up and down. This particular carousel goes around, and it has lions on it: giraffes, goats, camels, hippopotamus, tiger, dog, deers, as well, of course, the horses. And the other very important thing is that it has in it a 1909 Wurlitzer military band organ. Now, during June, July and August, it's opened every day of the week from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. So how lucky were we to come to the town, and we had to do a little bit of digging around. We were going along I-70 and we saw a welcome centre, but we couldn't find the welcome centre, so we went around the town and found the information centre, and they told us about the carousel here. There is no one in Netherlands, not Netherlands in Holland, Netherlands in Colorado, but it's not nearly as good as PTC 6. So look at that, it's in the original building, and like we said, it's the only one with a menagerie on it. So that's really, really important, and we're going to give you an even greater thrill than that. You can see there the Philadelphia Toboggan Company manufactures and builders at carousel and toboggan slides, 130 East Duval Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But it's not there. And the other thing to take into account is this one is housed in a 12-sided building. 12-sided building to protect it. Now, carousels were something back in the early 1900s when people didn't have a lot of entertainment. There was maybe the church picnic or a school dance or something like that was the entertainment. And when the fair came to town, they had the opportunity to see these magnificent rides. And what better ride in the world than a PTC and number 6 with the menagerie on it. Now, there's just been a fair here with lots of rides on, carnival, but nothing to match PTC 6. So we're going to tell you a little bit more about PT6 very shortly. And look at this magnificent machine in front of us, and we're very fortunate to have one of the operators tell us a little bit about it.
This is the carousel that was built in 1905 in Pennsylvania. It's the part of the
Pennsylvania Toboggan Company?
Yes.
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Toboggan Company, yes, in 1905. And this was built for Mrs. Elitch in Denver, Colorado. She had this made, and I think she handpicked these animals because some of them say number 6, 7, and 8. They're only supposed to be, this is PTC number 6. But some of these under the belly have 7 and 8, so somebody must have handpicked these. Well, in 1927, she heard that there were jumping machines, which means the animals jumped up and down instead of, this is a stationary one. So she bought the new one for her Elitch Gardens, and she sold Kit Carson County this carousel. So we ran the carousel only 1 week per year, and that was during the fair. And during 1930, we had the Depression and the Dust Bowl, so they stopped running the carousel. And the government gave commodities, money for the commodities for the farmers, because they couldn't feed their animals with the Dust Bowl and the Depression. So they filled this building with grain up from the top. They just filled it all over the carousel. They had bales of hay on the outside, grain on the inside, and that happened for 6 years. You can imagine the damage that happened in those 6 years. When they came to clean it out, they burned the old feed, and some of the people wanted to burn the carousel because it was so bad. It was so badly damaged.
That would have been an absolute disaster, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes. So there were some visionaries that said, no, we do not want to burn the carousel. So they came in with hot soapy water, cleaned up the animals, cleaned up the carousel, and varnished the animals. But it ruined the monster military band music. So they ran it and played country music on a record player, the popular music of the day. And the animals that were varnished over were grays and browns and blacks. They weren't very pretty. So they decided they wanted to get this fixed up in time for America's bicentennial and Colorado centennial. So they fixed up the monster band machine, and it played wonderfully. They decided, well, why don't we clean up the animals as well? So they found, after lots of varnishing layers, they cleaned and found these beautiful vibrant colors. And some of the gold leaf was still there, and so they painstakingly went around every animal and unvarnished and found all the beautiful colors.
So we're only talking like 1976? So?
This was, let's see, this was after 1976.
76,
is when they got the Oregon
running, right?
Yes, so this was afterwards. I'm not sure what years. It took them 22 months, I believe, to do all the animals. So. And then in 1981, there was a ring of antique thieves came, and one night they tried to steal the lion, some of the bigger animals, but they were too heavy. So they stole 4 of our other animals that were lighter, and we did not see them for 6 months. Finally, they found them in a warehouse in Kansas, and we had a parade to welcome them back home. Those are the ones with the red, white, and blue ribbons. 3 over here and 1 on the other side.
Right, the little horses in there.
Yeah.
I can see, yes. Yeah. Right, so it certainly had a very checkered history, and it's quite amazing that it still exists to this day, isn't it?
Yes, yes, yes. And we have, all the horses have real horse hair, and then the 3 reindeer have real antlers.
Right, we'll have a look at the reindeers a little bit later, but
Yeah.
And the paintings,
The paintings, yes, that's so a lot of them were damaged during when they had there were rats and mice and snakes and pigeons, and they were filthy. A lot of them had holes poked in them, So they took off the varnish on those painstakingly. They were painted on very light muslin. So they backed them up with thicker fabric and then put a backing on, and those are 98%, I believe, original paint on those after they patched them up. So they had a job cleaning those up too.
And the threadsaw work is
Yes.
all original?
So most of it is, but the decoration on top of the sweeps are not original. When we got the carousel here, they weren't included, but we didn't know that they were missing until we saw a picture of the original carousel, and we saw, well, there's still supposed to be some. So we had a person that built those balances. So yeah, they did a very
And
nice
this is a
job.
purpose-built building.
Yes, this was built around the carousel. We have hydraulic doors to keep the weather out,
And it's kept in this beautiful condition, pristine condition, by
Yes.
volunteers?
well, when they refurbished these, they I think it was $2 million total that was paid to have these all restored.
So who actually owns the carousel now?
Kit Carson County.
Great.
Yes.
And it's funded, how do you fund it?
Through government grants, we have a gift shop and also donations. Yeah.
And
So
I
the-
believe it's only 25 cents a ride.
Yes.
Now, I believe the 25 cents is in keeping with the traditional price that was.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's been tremendous. Let's see what the carousel will do for us.
Okay.
Right, we're going to do a quick walk around, close up, to show you. 3 horses, 3 giraffes, but look at the detail here. A boa constrictor attacking the giraffe. There's lovely carriages here, and as you can see, the 3 little grey horses there, they were the ones that were stolen and eventually returned. Look at this magnificent Great Dane here. A knight in shining armour, otherwise called a horse. Little horse over there that was stolen. That's why they've got red, white and blue ribbons around them. Reindeers have got natural antlers. And this is what makes this show so unique. Look at the little woodpecker there. And you can see he's got a tongue out. So they're genuine antlers. Whereas other carousels, this is the only one that's still in the form of a menagerie. Now look at that. The eye at the tiger. And we mentioned there before the goats, and look at this lovely Wurlitzer military band organ, in absolutely magnificently restored. As you can see here, it's got trumpets in it, everything that's needed. Wurlitzer, Rudolph Wurlitzer grand organ. Right, you're lucky to see one anywhere in the world, let alone here. Camels, and you notice the animals are graduated from small to large. More horses, more carriages here. And let's have a little sneak look inside. It's a little quick look inside what it looks like, the mechanism. And most importantly, it works. More horses, giraffes, and we're just about ready to see what will happen.
Didn't ask the taxpayers. They just went
Genuine horsehair on the horses here, and we think we might just actually sit on a tiger here, if we can get up on a tiger. When have you ever been on the back of a tiger? Sorry about a little bit of disruption there, but we just need to get the stirrups, feet in the stirrups, and we're sitting atop a tiger here, and we'll see what happens next. Right, I heard a bell ring. What that means is that things... Right, well, let's just sit back and listen to the music. Getting quite fast on the carousel now. You feel gravity pulling you to the outside. That's the wonderful Wurlitzer, Randolph Wurlitzer. How was that? It's a sort of experience almost brings you to tears. Where in the world, apart from Burlington in Colorado, could you have that experience? You wouldn't have that experience. So it stopped there now, and unfortunately we have to get off, which could be a challenge. Not really. Prostheses were made to convince. And excuse me, madam, did you enjoy your ride?
I really did enjoy the ride. It was absolutely wonderful.
I bet even in 2024 when we're doing this, children would still be amazed. They might get the thrill rides, they might get the modern rides, but really there's no quality that matches this, is there?
None at all.
Yeah. And that Wurlitzer, wasn't that magnificent, the Wurlitzer in the back?
And just to watch the paintings.
Yeah, lovely paintings, and we'd like to thank Linda, who was our driver. Thank you, Linda. We knew that she wanted the applause. Maybe that's telling us it's time to leave, but look at the magnificent things, paintings, and to think that this was covered in wheat at one stage and hay.
Almost lost.
And local people wanted to destroy it, just burn it. And it would have been lost. So even if it did cost $2 million plus, it's a unique attraction, not only for Kansas, not only for, not for Kansas, for Colorado. I forgot we're in a different state now. Not only for Colorado and Kit Carson County Fairgrounds and the community, but also it's a treasure in America. In fact, we'd put it down as a treasure within the world. So hit the like button if you've ever seen anything like this, which I'm pretty well sure you haven't. Tell us about it, but in the meantime, hit the like button and describe some of the wonderful childhood experiences that you've had during your lifetime.